Okay, everybody, welcome to the Next Level Plus Q&A session for January 4th, 2022. We did move the time on you. We do that from time to time. We're going to be flying at 2 p.m. East here with these sessions Monday through Thursday. And just so you know, you can always access our full calendar from the top right of your KV Core dashboard, right? So if we go to View Live Training Calendar, you'll notice that these sessions, as well as others, are posted here. And what we're doing is we're kind of doing these back to back with our quick start sessions. So if you are new to KV Core and you just want a refresher, just know that you can, every day at 1 p.m. East, you can hop on this 4-part series. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we do part 1 through 4. You can kind of get a kind of an onboarding, orientation to KV Core in general. And then these sessions, we're going to get a little jiggy with it. There might be a little faster paced. They might be a little advanced, or assume that you have some basic knowledge of KV Core. But you are welcome here if you're just getting started. And if some of the topics we talk about feel like you're not ready for them yet, just put them in the back of your head and hang out and see what we're talking about. So that's just a little bit of housekeeping. I have to get this URL off because I haven't bought that URL yet. I meant to this morning to redirect it. But all of the recordings of these will be in the Next Level members area, which can be accessed from the marketplace. If you haven't checked out Next Level, it's under the coaching session. You can watch a video about what it is. So these sessions, you can attend them live, and then we'll have the recordings all available for you in the members area there. But then finally, don't forget to join the Facebook group, InsideRealEstate.com/Facebook group. And I've got a little shameless plug here. Have you ordered a Property Boost lately? Property Boost is kind of our flagship lead generation product. I love it. It generates homeowners and renters into your dashboard, into KV Core. With a click of a button, you can promote your listings or any other listings that you have permission to post. And we have lots of awesome things coming with that product to evolve it. It's been evolving and evolving over the years. It's just kind of the quickest, most affordable way to generate leads into your system. In my opinion, just push a button and get going. So if you haven't checked that out yet, just go to KV Core into the marketplace and you'll see Property Boost call to actions there. All right, so let's get going. Enough with the jibba jabba. We'll get started with today's topic. And as we kick off the new year, yesterday I talked a little bit about social posting for leads, which is a very basic approach. You can check out that replay. And I think next after that, where I like to go is this idea of establishing a niched focus. Now, I didn't put this on the slide because it can offend some people, but my favorite thing to say back in the day when I got started training real estate and I was moving out of having my own practice, I used to say, "What's your niche, biche?" B-I-C-H-E. And it wasn't very PC, and I got some flack for that, but I like to say it anyway, just to have a little fun. And those sorts of things that are a little outrageous, they kind of stick in your head, right? What's your niche? And the idea here is that most of your competitors, as we know, are mostly just working with buyers and sellers. A lot of the top producers, you might be one yourself, they may have a farm or an area that they focus on. They may have a niche, but it's very rare for me to encounter somebody who's like, yeah, I sell real estate and I'm all about this. Like my buddy Andrew Robinson in Columbus, Ohio, he's a luxury guy. Like there's some people out there like that. He knows his limits. He doesn't even want to do anything unless it's luxury, and he focuses all his marketing and all his attention, his lead generation around that idea. And a lot of the people I know who are really successful kind of do that. In most cases, it tends to revolve around owning an area, or a farm or something like that. But what I was hoping to talk about today was different ways that we can establish a niche focus for our business. And more importantly, for the way we proceed with tools like KV Core and the features inside, the way we proceed with generating our own leads and converting those leads from using content from a content perspective. So the idea here, we're going to dive into some examples and have it kind of brainstorm a little bit, is to pick a specific property type or customer type to work with and focus on that. And I will say that just because you're picking something to focus on doesn't mean that you're excluding everything else, right? You're not saying, hey, I won't take this type of buyer or seller if they come my way through my efforts, but I'm going to focus my marketing and my lead generation and the content that I'm putting out to the world around what I do. I'm going to focus it around this property type or customer type. So let's open up this doc here. Here we go. And I think I can share this to all you guys who are watching live. Let me just copy the link and I'll post it in the Zoom chat here. And it's just a quick spreadsheet. We can add some stuff to it. If anybody watching is doing anything niche focused that you want to get included on the sheet, or you just want to share with everybody in the chat, feel free to do so. So let's just run through these. First idea, is and the way I've broken this down is to kind of go at it based on the offer you would make, and maybe talk a little bit about how you would capture the leads. We're not going to go too deep on that part today. And then just by showing the ad copies and suggestions, you'll get ideas for the niches. So KV Core area page market report is something you could offer. So your niche, this would be around farming, right? It's a little more general, but the idea is, hey, I'm going to be the person who reports on what's going on with market conditions in this segment of my marketplace. And if you go to your website, I'm going to go to my KV Core website. I talked about this a little bit yesterday. You know that every area, every city, neighborhood, and zip code, for the most part, in your KV Core and your MLS that is linked to your KV Core database has an areas page. So up top, I'm typing ryanhartman.foreverflorist.com/areas. So if you add areas/areas/ and then we'll just use Clearwater here. It's our example. KV Core will dynamically generate you a page like this. So one niche you could work is a farm, but you can kind of become a reporter about what's going on in that market. And this tool, you know, the fact that these area pages exist, just give you an easy way to kind of share this data from week to week, or use it as a lead capture tool. So what does that look like? Well, let's just say I wanted to build a landing page in KV Core that offered an area report for Clearwater. I can come to Lead Engine, build landing page. Oh, sorry, Annalisa. You should be a host. Look for the email invite. That's how I got in. I don't know if you tried that yet. Otherwise, we'll just have to deal with it tomorrow. So we'll come here, we'll build a landing page. And I'm not going to build the full page, but you might do something like Clearwater, Florida, real estate market. And then we could do free weekly. Do something like this, right? And I can get a little fancier. I can, you know, take an image of the area and set that as my background. Actually, I'm trying to, this is interesting. I'm clicking on the area page here and clicking copy image address. I didn't know that was possible. Let's go back to that landing page here. Can I set that as my background image right off the area page? Wow, you actually can. That was easy. You see that, Annalisa? So on the area pages, you can actually right click that map and grab the image address. So free weekly Clearwater, Florida real estate market report. And then this would kind of be your niche focus would be to deliver this information once a week. Now, going a step further, once a week when somebody opts in for this, I can just redirect them to this page, right? So I would set this URL as the redirect after they log in. But then every week I could say, hey, here's your update, your weekly update. And if I want to get even fancier, I could just send a link. I could also use something like Screencast-O-Matic or Loom, you know, whatever screen recording software you like to use. And I could record a video that talks about what's going on. So I could just scroll here and be like, hey, look, here's the most popular property right now. Here's the most expensive, least expensive, the average taxes right now, the average walk score, you know, and kind of walk through this. So the first idea would be kind of the market report niche, basically being a market report person. I'm saying that wrong. And I'm going to confess, guys, as I'm talking, I'm stuttering a little bit. I'm getting over that COVID fog, man. I heard people talking about that for a year or two. It's a real thing. So please bear with me. Okay. Veronica's asking, are these meetings going into a Google form like you were doing before? Yeah, the replays will exist in Next Level. We put them a lot of places. We put them on YouTube, and then there is a sheet on that Google form which can be accessed from the Agent Quick Start. There is a tab that will have replays of these as well. So, yeah. So next thing, detailed home value report. So this is a similar one for generating maybe homeowners or seller leads, and it's kind of the offer that we hear a lot about. But a little more specifically, it offers a 20+ page report, a detailed 21+ page report that shows you what your home might sell for in today's market. So again, this would be kind of your lead generation offer, and the niche would be, hey, I'm farming. So I'm not going to go too deep on that one. I want to go a little bit more into the niche focused property types, but these first two are kind of more designed to attract homeowners and generate new seller leads. So I had them up top here. Now, new construction list. This is a really good niche, right, guys? Does anybody here focus on being the sort of local reporter for all the new construction in your market? I really like this niche, of course, because a lot of times builders, it might be more competitive now, but a lot of times builders will kind of just say, hey, send your buyers, have them register, and we'll do everything else. And I've gotten some commissions like that over the years, and it's really cool and nice. This kind of niche lends you to that, and it gives you a lot of really interesting content because you can kind of go around to all the new construction projects, all the builders. You can network with all the professional investor rehabbers. If they're building something new, all the builders themselves. And you can say, hey, would you mind if I took a quick video of your property and just sent it out to my audience? So you could post that to social. You can email it out through KV Core, like, hey, here's the new construction project of the week. And this is an offer that I've had really good success with in multiple markets around the country, working with other agents. And it's basically just see a complete current list of new construction listings priced between X and X. So your landing page or the ad that you write for this is fairly straightforward. Come here. Let's see if this will paste. Yeah, it doesn't paste very nice. The formatting kind of tries to copy, but you get the idea. See a complete current list. Try to refresh this here. See a complete current list. Yeah, I'll get you guys the spreadsheet. Sorry, I had a few people asking, so I'll just grab it now. Copy link. I thought I pasted, but it's possible something happened there with Zoom. So there you go again. See complete current list of new construction homes in Tampa, Florida, right? Or it could be get a free weekly list. So get a free weekly or a complete current. I use interchangeably. The weekly kind of sets you up to be sending them stuff in the future. Subconsciously, they're like, oh, I'm signing up for this like subscription and it's free, So I kind of like that one. And then we do have some templates here under the image dropdown. I pick new construction and we get this kind of cool animated image of people building a house. Or you could also just use like a new looking, like the modern right here would also work for this as well. So this niche, again, is a really easy one to do follow-up for. And the follow-up, the fortune's in the follow-up, and it's kind of the hardest part that most people don't get to. It's very easy to throw up a landing page like this. Maybe you run a Facebook ad or Google ad to it. We can kind of show you how to do all that. But where the top producers are separated from the not top producers and people have success with this stuff, where the separation is in the follow-up, what you're sending from week to week. And this particular niche, I like it because the content itself is pretty easy. You go to builders, as I said a minute ago, you go to new construction projects. Hey, do you mind if I take a video? Hey, do you mind if I share your floor plans? And every Saturday morning, whatever day of the week you pick, you just send a mass email from KV Core, do a scheduled mass email, and you say, hey, here's the new construction project of the week. You write a quick email about it and you link to your video. So doing what I just said is pretty easy. I realize I'm going a little fast, but you just go to all marketing and you go to scheduled mass emails. And you could just schedule that email to everybody who is in that hashtag. If you're kind of working new construction, as you build these landing pages or squeeze links, you would put new construction in the hashtag, and you can go grab everybody who's opted in for that offer and send it out to everybody, whatever content you've created. So I do realize, guys, I'm kind of glancing over a lot of the nitty gritty details here today. More what I was hoping to accomplish with this session was just to kind of give you some inspiration for the different angles you might take. And on our other next level sessions, we dive deeper on things like these landing pages and how to send the email and scripts and things like that. And you'll see lots of those examples in the next level members area access from the marketplace. But for today, I'm going to keep moving along with different examples. So similar, so we had new construction list, starter homes list is a really cool one. Starter homes are kind of weird right now because I've been trying to run ads for this, and you're running ads in this market. And you're like, hey, starter homes in Tampa, Florida. You're like, well, what's the starter home cost now? It's like $300,000, $350,000, which just sounds crazy, right? But there's always going to be that market that's kind of at the lower end of the spectrum, and it's a very good hook for attracting people into your fold. So specifically, if you want to work with first-time home buyers, right? Start offering a starter homes list. That language resonates really well. So you can see a complete current list of Orlando starter homes priced between X and X. And I'm using Florida examples today because I'm up in Pennsylvania freezing my butt off. I can't wait to get home next week. So, but you know, you just insert your city here where it says city name, and this is a universally applicable offer, right? And there's going to be starter homes, there's going to be new construction homes anywhere you go. Next one is income properties list. Now, this one I really like because this particular offer has kind of gotten me more listings than any other offer. And it's counterintuitive. But if you put ads out there and you say, hey, I'm going to focus on either fixer-uppers or multi-unit properties, right, that with potential for cash flow. So the offer is city name income properties with potential for cash flow, price between a certain range. This language works really good. If you say that, who's going to opt in for it? Well, generally, it's going to be people in your market who already own their first home, and now their head is turning toward, you know, building wealth through real estate, which is kind of an accepted idea. Everybody watches the shows on HGTV, right? Everybody knows that. So you're kind of just, that conversation is already in the person's head. So they see this offer. If they're a renter right now, might not resonate too much, right? Like, they might opt in. But if they're a homeowner already, they've got some equity, and they're thinking about, you know, the next phase of life, they're doing well in their career or whatever, then you're going to attract the type of people who already own homes. You can start to work with them on the income property side of things, but because they already own a home, you know that's a potential listing. Everybody's going to move eventually. So you might look at this offer and say, hey, I don't really want to work with investors, but the truth is you're going to be working with homeowners, right? The lead generation offer and the hook and the niche itself, the content that you're putting out there, it's more just about giving people a touch point to interact with you. And you know that in the process of doing this, you're going to be interacting with homeowners and having conversations about real estate that could lead to listings. So if you want listings, think about these investor type offers, an income properties list, and then fixers. See a complete current list of city name fixer uppers. Man, I hope we're recording. We are. Okay. I always wonder if I forgot, and I remember now that I did hit the record. Okay. Pre-foreclosure, short sales, REO, bank owned. So this is very similar. We kind of group these three together. So short sales might not be a huge thing right now, but bank owned foreclosures, I use the term bank owned REO foreclosures. That one really works well. That's kind of a universal thing that will get both first-time home buyers and people who want to invest, existing homeowners. Everybody will opt into this. It'll be a fairly affordable lead, but you will have to wade through like the people who kind of took their first investing course last week, right? And they're using all the scripts they were taught there. They went to like a seminar or something. So this will attract a lot of people, but you will kind of need to be ready to focus on that segment of the market. And some of you guys might be, right? I worked this niche really hard in Philadelphia for a while. It was lucrative and fun. It's very easy, of course, to find vacant properties that are in foreclosure or REOs when there's inventory. It's very easy to kind of not have to deal with the homeowner, you know, getting access. Usually you can just go use the lockbox code, go in there, get permission from the listing agent to take a quick video, you know, go to HUD Homes. And I found that sending a video every Saturday was the way I did it, of like the REO of the week, worked really, really well to attract people into my fold. And what actually ended up happening for me was I got a couple of like professional fixers and rehabbers who I built relationships with, and I started getting listings from them, you know, because I built up some trust on the buy side of things, and then they were giving me all their projects as they were completed. So Jim asked me to back up. I'll just do that quickly about the area pages information, how to get to that. I'm going to drop you guys the link format on Zoom. So it's basically your KV Core URL, right? So you can see mine here. I have my subdomain. It's in the Zoom chat. And then after that, you do /areas/ and then you can do the city, the neighborhood, or you can even do zip codes. So if I do 33711, I'm not sure about Canada. If postal codes work there, they probably do. But if I put 33711 in there, for example, it'll put my neighborhood up there in my zip code. So, and the other place you can access that, at the bottom of your home page, this is the areas we cover stuff. So if you want a quick way, you know, the ones that you've included will show up. But if you just want to click on one of those, it'll take you to the page, and then you can change at the end of the / you can change it to different areas. And it just brings in everything in the MLS. You know, I talked about yesterday how you could just do, hey, Pinellas County neighborhood of the day, right? And you could just post a link to these, and it's really kind of cool social content as well to be sharing. Okay, back to our niches. So we did pre-foreclosures, waterfront homes list. Man, we really hammered this one in 2021 for Forever Florida Real Estate in Florida, where I have my license. So waterfront homes list, I'm going to show you an example ad. This is a really good one. Now you need to be in an area that has waterfront homes. Most places do have something water related, right? But you can see, can I do last year? I can do maximum. So this will give us a whole year. This campaign generated, give me a second here, 2,101 leads. I know this is small on your screens, guys, but 2,101 leads at $3 a lead. So $6,000 put 2,000 people into the database. And the specific build of this campaign can be found in the Next Level Growth Systems section. We talked about this a lot last year on our webinars. But I'll just show you the live example since it exists. The offer is, you're going to see some familiar language here, but it says Pinellas County waterfront homes priced from certain price range, and we've got the ad here. And for all of the niches I've just mentioned, you can kind of do a similar ad to this and get a pretty good result. And this is a Facebook lead form. So what happens is it gets kind of pre-filled right here with the name, email, and phone number, similar to how Property Boost works and how our other Facebook products work at Inside Real Estate in the marketplace. It'll pre-fill that info and then it gets injected in the KV Core. Now, this ad, just for some context, guys, and I can't go into it all today, but this ad, the last I checked, 32% of people who opted into this ad replied to the auto text that was sent to KV Core. So if you had, it was 2,100 leads, if you had 600 or 700 people reply to you, let's say half of them are like, no, thank you, but half of them are like, yeah, I'm thinking about moving soon. Could you convert a handful of them over the course of a year? And would spending $5,000 or $6,000 be worth it to have that much interaction? So basically $600, $600 or $700 there. I'm sorry, $6,000 for 600 conversations about real estate. That's about $10 to have a conversation about real estate with somebody. I think most of us on this call, have enough skills to kind of turn those conversations into something over time. So just trying to give context on where these niches can go in a paid traffic environment when you're using a source like Facebook or Google, and you're sticking with it and doing, dedicating the budget and doing it over the long haul. If you do something like these niches, all the ones I'm talking about, if you do it for 2 weeks and you generate 5 leads, you're not going to be very happy, right? Or you generate even 50 leads, even 100 is not enough. You need to get up there at scale where it's a couple of hundred, so that that a certain, even if you're only converting 1%, the math starts to really make sense. And I'm kind of giving you guys the roadmap. All of this language, you can see it's all pretty similar. These offers work really well. So waterfront homes list, motivated sellers list. That's a similar one. Both homeowners and both people looking to buy now and investors, owner occupants and investors would opt in for this. So you just do a complete current list of homes with motivated sellers. Some of us, not all of us, can go into the advanced search in KV Core. It depends on whether your MLS is kind of sharing the ability to do this, I think. But you can go into the keywords and you can type in motivated. And that's the way I build the, see, it says directions, motivated seller, bring offer. Sometimes you can just put the keyword in. Let me see if anything pops up on this one. But this is how I kind of deliver the property list that I'm offering. So when I say complete list of motivated seller homes, I'm putting motivated in the filters and then applying that. Yeah, it only gave me 1 there. That's a bummer. I think you have to play with this a little, but I think when I just had the word motivated in the past, it worked well. So let me just try to, without it giving me, okay, let's try that. And I think what that'll do is it'll search the remarks. Yeah, so it's down 162 listings where the word motivated appeared in the remarks. That's how I've done it in the past. And if you look, it works pretty good. Some of them are kind of false positives, but for the most part, it's pretty good info. And it's something unique, again, that your competitors aren't offering. Right? Again, remember, most people are saying, hey, just come on my real estate site and search. Here's my business card, right? Well, everybody else is doing that. If you become the person who's like, hey, I specialize in finding motivated sellers, people who are likely to want to do a deal. If somebody's telling their listing agent to put the word motivated in the, you know what I mean, in the remarks section of the MLS, and they're saying that's okay. That generally means that, you know, there might be some wiggle room. You know, it's a generally safe assumption to make. So that's kind of a cool offer. Price reduced condos, that's a good one. Condos recently, waterfront condos priced under a certain threshold. These two are kind of similar. So in every market, not necessarily the most fun niche to work because you end up showing a bunch of low-end condos, but this is really good bait. And you can end up with some cash deals here because, you know, a lot of times you can't even finance the stuff that's at the lower end of the range, right? So this niche has worked for me in tests that I've done. I haven't sold a lot myself this way, but I've run ads like this for other people with success. So condos priced under 250,000 in county, you know, things like that. Lots and land, I love this one. Every time I run a lots and land list, the cost per lead is very low. See a complete current list of city name lots and land for sale. Who are you going to attract? Well, you're going to attract investors. You're going to attract people who already own home who want a way to invest in real estate passively without having tenants, basically, right? Hey, I know land is scarce. I just want a place to park my cash. Buying a lot is a good idea. You might also get somebody who wants to build and develop, you know, their dream home on it too. This is a really cool offer. Lots and land listings. Lease purchase, rent to own. I know not a lot of us want to go that direction, but if you do want to work that segment of the market, maybe you're working with. I always forget the name of the program. What's the one, guys? Somebody here will know. You know, the one that specializes in lease purchase. They basically buy the house for you, and then they we've done some webinars on this. They buy the house for you and then kind of rent it back to you until you're ready to qualify. I'm just drawing a blank on what that program is called. But if you want to work that program, this might be a good ad to run, right? You offer a rent to own homes list, and then you use email and follow up to kind of filter out the people who fit the program criteria. Okay, so I'm gonna move a little faster. Golf course homes. 4. Here's a complete current list of homes golf course homes with pools, bigger houses. So I've run this ad in the past when we were allowed to run at Facebook ads at specific demographic targets. They've taken away a lot of that, but I used to run this at moms with a picture of a stressed out mom with kids. Here's a complete current list of city name homes with 2,000 plus square feet. So they've got young kids. You could kind of segment by parents of children a certain age. I think you can still do this in Facebook, but maybe not for real estate ads. And then you kind of show that audience this idea that maybe it's time for a bigger house. Same for downsizing. So you can complete current list of smaller homes with master bedrooms on the main floor. Adult 55. I know there's some stuff around using that language, but see complete current list of city name homes in 55 plus communities. Homes with views. Acreage has always worked really well. So if you're in kind of suburbs or rural area, offer a list of homes with a certain acreage threshold. That works really well. Homes with garages. And then down here, I have basically this idea of offering webinars, either live webinars like the one you're sitting on now, or replays as your bait. And this works really well too. So if you have the ability or chance to create webinar funnels, and we've done webinars about how to create webinar funnels here. Those can be found in the Next Level Mastermind. But if you want to create a, say, first-time home buyer or first-time investor webinar, these work really well. You don't even need to build a landing page because you can just use Zoom, right? And use Zoom's registration form and then get people on a webinar. And you have captive attention. Like I'm kind of talking to you guys now. And as people have questions, they're engaging with you back and forth. It's a very direct way to start to have those real estate conversations in a scalable way. Maybe you get 10, 20, 50 people on a webinar once a week. You talk about the topic, real estate related, and then you can just follow up with those webinar attendees, automatically with related content. So I know I kind of ran through that really quick. Does anybody have any other ideas or suggestions that I might not have put on the sheet? Are you going to use these? You gonna get to work? Are you going to adopt one of these? Again, the point here is that this niching down gives you focus from a lead generation perspective. It gives you kind of a roadmap. Hey, here's the offer. And then my follow-up is going to be to send stuff that's similar. So if somebody opts in for fixer-upper listings, what am I going to send them? I'm going to send them a fixer-upper, either a link to all the newest fixer-upper listings every week, or I'm going to do webinars about that. I'm going to take video tours of fixer-uppers. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. And just for reference, I'll go into the Next Level members area here. We launched this about a year ago, and in the content, there is a section. I'm in my admin view. There's a section called the Growth System Builder. which kind of talks about the whole complete picture of this flow. So, you know, the actual ideas are just part of it, but we walk through kind of how to drive the traffic, a lot of the things I talked about, how to do the follow-up, you know, and then we have specific growth system builds like the waterfront homes one step by step. I walk through how we built that one, for example, in there. So in coming weeks, months, days, you know, we'll be diving in separately to these specific topics as we go. This actual series, it might feel a little out of order and less structured than our quick start series, which runs an hour before. It's meant to kind of give you the orientation. This is more about kind of ideas, inspiration, you know, brainstorming. It might feel a little bit like a fire hose sometimes, but I do appreciate you guys being here and do invite you to come as often as you can make it, and invite the other people to your office, because this is the kind of stuff we're up to. So I'll stop talking right here. Annalise, I don't know if you're still on. Sorry you weren't able. We'll make sure you can get on tomorrow properly. But if you have any comments or thoughts, go ahead and chat them in. The growth system builder is right in Next Level. So if you just go to mastermind room, the way to get into the mastermind, there's a 7-day trial. You just go to the KV Core Marketplace under coaching, and you can kind of get in here, and it's on the main dashboard. I thought I actually had a pinned post that have a pinned post in there that kind of takes you to these different sections, but our replays are here. The growth system builder stuff is right here, and then we have different, you know, marketing examples and so on. Okay, so question from Roma. Just kind of read through these real quick. So that one, Roma's asking about having multiple MLSs, but the search alert's not grabbing them all. I'm sorry, but that's gonna have to do one for support. I would mention it to support. We have a whole team that's like an MLS support team. A lot of times it's just about correctly mapping the data over, and they might be able to get that going for you with the search alerts. Yeah. You know, it's just we work with hundreds of different MLSs, so it's kind of a new project every time, and some of those little details can get overlooked. Okay. Of course, yeah. So Patricia's asking, go ahead, Patricia. You guys can ask questions about anything you want. So the format here, usually I'll start with a 10 or 30-minute spiel, or me or one of the other trainers. And then the rest of the time that we're here until you guys are done, just ask anything you want, and we'll go through it here. Jim's asking, is there a way to create a new filter for the CRM, or do we need to hashtag? Yeah, it's going to be, hashtags are going to be your trick. So outside of the types, you know, and that other stuff, but hashtags are pretty powerful. How to see emails sent today. That one just came up with somebody else, Roma. I know it's not there right now. So Roma's asking, can I filter all emails that were sent today? I actually put a request in last week, very similar, you know, to the product guys, and said, hey, it would be really cool if we could just click and see all the communications that are going out through the system, but it doesn't exist at the moment. Seems like it would be an easy enough thing to do, but I don't understand the product side. It's easy for me to say, right? You can see under dashboard right here, if you go to all activity, you can go to email events. This isn't exactly what you're looking for, but you can see, we try to show you who's opening emails. So, and I haven't been sending a lot of emails out of this account, so hopefully something pops up. There we go. You know, and this is amazing because I do have legit leads in here, but I totally ignore my real estate practice. I'm not active, but most of these leads come from stuff you guys see me doing here. But look, just having people on auto alerts, all these email opens are automatic property alerts for the most part. And you can see people are still opening them, even though I haven't talked to most of these people. It was kind of automatically set up their alerts, but the system is calling them back in and engaging them, right? So if I actually was paying attention and started reaching out to some of these folks, I'm sure, you know, there could be some action there. Okay. So Patricia's asking about editing the home page. Yeah, that's a pretty involved topic. But I'll go to if you go to the web and IDX here, and you go to edit settings, there's some stuff here in the homepage widgets and the template, the theme, and then you can edit the back. You can play with the site editor, some of the stuff in the front. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of pass the buck here a little bit, and I'm going to reference a couple of the sessions that I think Kelly and Annalisa have done recently on our YouTube channel here, where they take deep dives into all the ways that you can edit your site. So I think they were pretty recent. Customize your KV course site easily. I'm just going to drop these in the chat, guys. This playlist can be accessed at insiderealestate.com/webinars. Customize your KV course site. I only see you did one pretty recently. Here's the widgets and customization. That might be a pretty useful one. And then the site editor, I'll poke into that for you. So we'll go to site editor here. Oh, there it is. Oops. I go into here very rarely. So Patricia's referring to where it says template, and then you can click go to site editor. And then it opens up this view, and you can adjust the stuff in this section. But it can be a little advanced, and you might want to go into the code view like this, which requires some knowledge of HTML. So it's not the most point and click intuitive user-friendly thing to do. I do believe we have some options in the marketplace around getting those customizations done, custom stuff. So the growth system builder, that's in Core Next Level. If I go to the dashboard, and then it's right here. It might not show up in the same spot. You see where it says view more courses? This is just Thinkific. It's the program we use. For some reason, they only showed 6 tiles. It kind of drives me nutty. And I've asked them to just show them all because you gotta know to click through. So it could be that yours is buried. We also did do a growth system webinar last year. I probably need to kind of do that topic over again and refresh that content, but here's the full webinar where I lay out the framework for that approach, that growth system approach. So I drop that to everybody. Loading you guys up with links and webinars today. You got some homework. Okay, Kelly's asking about hashtag triggers. So I think you're asking, you want it to not come in as a new lead and trigger a new lead campaign? I think usually with the landing pages, you're trying to generate the new lead, but I guess you're saying what happens when you're generating somebody who exists. There must be stuff I need to dig in, Kelly, for you. You know, this is related to your other question. There must be stuff around the triggers where we can exclude and include, you know, based on the status of that person. So we should be able to, in our campaign rules, I'll just go into a random campaign here. You know, this logic right here. The logic is not, hashtag is not, status is or is not. But I think I'm assuming that what you're running into is you're trying to do something with this stuff that is just not built in. It sounds like you play with it a lot more than me recently. Yeah. Kelly, I might reach out. Maybe we can set up a time with one of our product guys, you and I, and we can just kind of really dig deep on it. The product guys love that stuff. Maybe you can help them. Maybe you can help them get to where you want to go. Rob is asking how often business analytics gets refreshed. And it won't show engaged. Yeah, I'm not sure, Rob. I hate to do that to you, but it should be updating pretty frequently. But you're saying that it's not showing, it's not accurate for your agents in terms of their engagement. Gonna do this again. I think that's a support you know, if you give as much detail as you can in support, and somebody on our support engineering team can look into it. Yeah. Kelly, I'll be sending you an email and CCing a guy named Xander. So I'll do that when we get off today. Cool. I don't think I see any other questions. If I missed your question, feel free to ask again. I'm just scrolling through. But yeah, guys, that's these sessions. You know, we try to do some kind of new topics, something with a little bit of structure. And then I hope there's value. You know, if you want to hang out and see the Q&A, what other people are asking, it's a good way to kind of just learn a little bit more about the system, get some ideas. And I do appreciate those of you guys who are asking questions. It really just helps kind of everybody else, you know, your participation. So it's very cool. For archived leads, is there a way to know when the leads were archived? Not sure. Let me look. Why is that? You want to go back and filter, maybe? I assume. I have never tried to do that. Let's see. So let's archive this lead. The only thing you're going to see, I don't think you can filter by it. You're going to see the timestamp in the timeline that it was archived at a specific time. But if you want to pull up everybody who's archived at a certain date, I don't think we have a filter there. That's an interesting feature request, though. So we're almost talking about, you know, adding a column here that would say archived, and then you could filter by that. Yeah. So Patricia's asking, what's the best way to drive people to your website? Uh-oh, can of words. There's a lot to that one. Basically, that's what's so much fun about internet marketing. There are so many different ways. My favorite for real estate still is, my number one favorite is Facebook ads, just because you can get so much volume. And if you're making the right offers, you can kind of get local homeowners and renters opting in. So we've got lots of training about that at Next Level. We've done tons of webinars about it. After that, there's Google. You know, if you want push button options, they're in the marketplace. Property Boost, our Facebook ads options, just go to the leads section. I'm a big fan of direct mail. Direct mail is cool, but you've got pretty much every social network platform, you know, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, everybody's got an ad platform. So it's mostly just about picking one, getting really good at it and staying consistent with it. Another good way, depending on your budget, is just telling people to go. I mean, it's kind of funny, but you know, if you go through all the people that you know, and you just manually go through your friends on Facebook and say, hey, I've got my real estate website. Would you mind if I registered you for updates? That also works too. So I guess that question depends on where you're at budget-wise, you know, your tech skills, whether you want to spend time running your own ads or have somebody else do it for you, and what the budget is. Yeah. Roman, is there a difference between core property boost from marketplace versus from the listing playbook? No, they're the same thing. If you notice fewer impressions, it was either the listing was different, right? It used a different listing and the image of the listing just resonated less, or it could very well have been the time of year, especially recently. You know, we're at the mercy of Facebook with these products and Facebook's getting fluctuating amounts of engagement on their platform. So, you know, we try and go to run the ads and get you as many impressions as possible. But really what we're telling Facebook is, hey, here's a budget, try to spend it over this set amount of time. Here's the creative. And then we're at the mercy of Facebook. So you might see different impression amounts for different listings for sure. That's cool, Roma. I don't mind. Yeah, it's just I can't always. There's so much going on here with this platform. I'm like 80% of the way there. That might be, but there's just stuff that stumps all of us all the time. So that's why I push you to support. Yeah. Okay, guys. Let's call it a day there, if that's cool. Hopefully you got a little inspired by these ideas. I'm sure for as many as we had on the sheet, there are plenty that I missed. Just basically any property type or customer type. I didn't get too big on customer types, but, you know, first-time buyers, downsizing people, investors, you know, think along those lines. And you're good to go. You can kind of build your whole business out around that. Last question from Anthony. I would like to send newsletter to everyone in my CRM, excluding a hashtag. How do I eliminate them? I think that's pretty straightforward. We actually built that recently. So what you're probably going to want to do is build a save filter first. So you can filter here. If I click filters and then contact details, and then you see we have the hashtag is not right here. Right. So then you would choose that hashtag for hashtag is not. You may want to save the filter here. And the reason you may want to save it rather than sending straight from here is if you want to use the scheduled send, then you're going to need a save filter. So if I go to schedule mass email, see right here, we have this option for creating from a save filter. We don't have contacts without hashtag here, but you get around that by just having the save filter going. Hope that helps. Okay, we'll be back tomorrow, guys. I have something else, a commitment at the same time, but Annalisa will be here with something cool and fun from Annalisa. So we'll be back at 2 p.m. tomorrow. See you guys later. Bye.